This is the Besh and Brodcast, a glimpse in the Philippine flesh and blood community.
Welcome to the Besh and Broadcast, episode 8.
Eight.
Yeah, 8. We are here, I guess to wind down on RTN season. We just, I think, this past weekend, if I have it right, is the last weekend for RTN. So basically, RTN season is finished. So basically, we're here to talk about, I guess,
Our
our
experiences.
experiences, our experiences, and what we played and what we learned. Probably the most important part, what we learned, and I guess, what other insights and other learnings we took from these past few weeks, and what came of them, and I guess how to look at
Analyze,
them,
prepare.
and how to analyze them in preparation for upcoming seasons like ProQuest and Nationals.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
but
The RTN season this year has been the biggest one so far here in the Philippines. I think we
definitely.
have had 10 ba? I'm actually not sure how many how
And
many RTN events we had, but there were a lot. In different parts of the Philippines, we had one. We had the majority of which were held in Manila, and one in Bacolod, one in Cebu, and then one in Davao.
Davao, yeah.
Yeah, so
So
it has been an interesting season so far. There were only two draft RTNs in the Philippines, and the rest of which were class constructed. And it is, I think, probably formative of how the Pro Tour will, what will happen in the Pro Tour, and what will be the top decks to beat in the upcoming ProQuest season.
not just that, I think the fact that we are having more draft RTNs as well as the classic constructed RTNs means that, well, for one thing, since limited is an important format in nationals,
Yeah,
we see that the set of skills that you have to uh, parang cultivate in
in
order
order
to
to
be
become
a good drafter,
yeah,
because it's a different game. Usually I like to say na ang drafting is one game, playing it is another.
yes,
Na
definitely.
na basically having a competitive draft means that you played one game in the first part, and you're parang using your resources from that game to play the other game.
Yes.
So yun.
If you had
Uh
a good advantage from your drafting, you have an easier time during the games. And if you
oh
had a bad pod with um, madami kayong warrior, madami kayong brute, you need to work double time. You need to work harder in order to actually win your pod.
uh, parang you start pa lang uphill battle ka na.
Yeah.
So yun. Uh yun. We also have been talking about our feedback from the previous episode, and
Yeah. Episodes.
episodes, since it was a three-parter, and in particular we've been getting quite a few questions regarding how the whole concept of value actually plays out, na parang I think we were a little quick in the discussion, I guess.
Yeah.
In our I think parang we had a few we fired off under a few things that
Yeah.
we assumed
It's
uh
already common knowledge.
probably incorrectly, in hindsight, na there were things na I think when we were discussing them, parang since we had a rough idea, tayo,
Since
even si
we've been
Alvin.
discussing it already for a long
Oo,
time.
oo, na yun. So, and since we were receiving questions from people who were curious about how the thing, how the concept and how the whole proposition and how the whole thing applies or how the
Yeah.
whole thing gets resolved in practice, we decided na I guess this is also a way for us uh, to be more responsive in our discussions. We will be posting in the Facebook group, and I guess you can comment as well on the YouTube videos.
Or
Your
even here in this
questions,
video.
or even in this video, how you what you want possibly clarified from the from the discussion in our previous episode, and I guess if you are thinking of particular board states or particular plays or uh,
Situations.
particular situation sequences, uh, then we will be happy to go through those and to try to make everything a little clearer, because I think understanding how to value and understanding how to value not uh, in particular understanding how to value in a math grounded way is a very very helpful tool for people to level up in
Yeah.
this game.
I think one of the things that that made the discussion snowball so much is we were talking about value assessment for cards, for individual cards, but the greater discussion that should be talked about is so you already know the value of a single card. You know that Codex of Realty is a zero, is a one card eight, but the greater discussion is how do you apply this to the game? How do you apply this to certain situations? And even if you know that a single card is good value, what is the value of a certain hand or a certain one card, two card, three card, four card hands? And it should have been a whole different discussion altogether. But I think it's a good jump off point um, for everyone to understand and for us to understand it even better.
And yeah, I think what we want to do is we want to help other people get there then. So
Yeah,
that's going to be the point of this entire exercise. Na
yeah,
we will
and while helping others to get there, we're also getting better ourselves. I actually learned a lot from that discussion. I valued cards and other plays differently, and seeing Justin's viewpoint, it made me rethink some of the plays that I do. And I think it's a good start of point for more discussions in the future.
and and siguro this is also a later realization that came around. The value proposition plays out really 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 differently for different classes. Then
Yes,
so like I guess the guardian and the ranger, and I guess to a degree the mech part uh, were I think discussions that we were comfortable with because we for a
we're
time
already familiar.
we named those classes. So I played a lot of Bravo. Carl has played Old Him in the past to a Nationals top 8, diba? Diba?
Yeah,
So, yun, Alvin was a really, really big fan of Old Him. Uh, so, I've played a lot of Dash na din in my life. So, yun, and favorite ko si Max nung Bright Lights draft. So, yun, I guess this is also a bit of a challenge for us in the sense na, like, for example, ako, ang weak spot ko is I've never really played Warriors. And like, kumbaga, the only time I get to play Warriors is in a limited context.
mm,
So, it it kind of forces me to so if may mga warrior na questions dyan, it will
It
kumbaga
will help you
challenge
think.
me o ako in particular. It will help challenge me to be able to understand how the value proposition and how the whole concept works with warriors. Like ang naalala ko dyan, before nga ang Kiret was si Michael Hamilton, hated Iron Song response. Because if hindi mo siya binlock, walang reprise, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Tapos parang aabot sa point na you want to use it, tapos hindi ka iba-block ever. Tapos parang at some point, iisipin mo, kailan ko na lang sana to pinitch? Kailan ko na lang sana to pinamblock? Because by then, it could have been value. But no, it sat as a dead card for like 2-3 turns if you're against a good opponent. Mga ganun. So, yun. More little things, more little details na I guess we can flesh out in the
In blood.
future and blood out in the future once I guess we get more feedback and once we
Yeah.
get a better idea of the situations and the applications that you guys might want to see discussed or
Yeah.
want
So
to analyze.
yeah. So
Kumbaga.
please comment in this post, in this video. Comment on the Facebook post regarding
Yun. We'll be
your
posting.
questions.
Yeah, we'll be posting. By the time this is up, the post will most likely be up as well.
Yeah, challenge din yun.
Challenge. Oy, di, madali yun.
Okay. Good.
And so with that, I guess let's go to yung main parang update natin because yun nga, we participated to a degree naman sa RTN season. Sayang lang na si Alvin is currently predisposed. So, nakailan bang RTN si Alvin? I think naka-isa siya?
Hindi. So, parehas kami. We both were able to attend the 2 drafts. And I think he attended one more class constructed. I was only able to attend 2 draft RTNs, which I did not perform particularly well.
O yan, tuloy mo na. Kamusta yung dalawa RTN mo?
Okay, so I was able to participate in 2 draft RTNs. It was my first time to ever draft heavy hitters. I wasn't able to participate in any pre-release or armories that included sealed or draft formats. So it was quite difficult to look at the set without actually knowing how the cards go together. It's easy to look at the cards and say, these cards are good value. These are higher rates. These are cards that you should attack with. These are cards that you should block with. But the interesting with heavy hitters is that it is so it is so value intensive. There are a lot of 2 blocks. There are only a few 3 blocks compared
Per class.
per class, and you basically get more 3 blocks if you commit earlier to a certain class. That's the gist of it, and it's very different from my experience from previous draft sets. A lot of draft sets, if as long as you pick the best cards in generic and relatively open open cards, for example, for I'm thinking of an example. For example, for outsiders, if you were able to get the good generics and the good dual class cards, if you were able to find them, you actually get a good deck. And in bright lights, well, bright lights is a whole different thing since it's an all mechanologist class. But the value you get in heavy hitters is very dependent on the class that you want to draft, and not really from the supplemental cards in the form of generics and dual class cards. A lot of the dual class cards block for 2, for example, while the solo class cards, a lot of them block for 3. So that experience during the first RTN was I had a terrible first pod. It was probably the worst deck. Um, I First of all, I went 0-3 into I think 2-3 or 3-3. I don't remember since I lost my first pod. I lost all my matches for the first pod. I drafted Betsy. Initially, I thought I had pretty good class cards. And then I realized I only had 9 blues. So I couldn't really do anything. So I did try my best during the matches. A lot of the matches were close, and all of the matches, if I remember correctly, I lost when I drew the all red hands with 2 blocks and 3 blocks. So using Guardian, you can't really do anything. You have to block with everything, and if you're facing against Kasai, facing against a warrior, they're gonna punish your blocks, and the brutes are just going to outvalue you. And I discovered that the other guardian in my pod was a Victor who got to find Golden Sun, Miller's Grindstone, and the
Trunks.
no. He had 4 tests, and the 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 headpiece of Victor. So overall, it was a bad pod which I lost in the draft. As we mentioned, it is you can really lose in the first part of the draft, and that's how I lost the first pod. During the second pod, I tried a bit harder. I went 2-1. I still lost. The match there was a really lot to learn. It is not a good idea to go into the RTN draft against experienced players when you don't have any good experience on it. So I was in the bottom part of the the rankings for this RTN. For the second RTN, the last RTN that I was able to join, I went 4-2. I draft. I had a much better draft. I had a better understanding of the signals and a better understanding of the cards that were in the set. I drafted a very good Victor deck on my first pod. Unfortunately, I lost because um I I basically got blown out by tenacity when I double blocked, and knowing that I could present lethal the next turn, but the tenacity was attacking for 6 because I already blocked. I thought the next attack was only for a Centauri Saber. I did not expect the tenacity at all. And then my second loss was against a. I was playing KO in the second pod, and I fought against a Reinar. At the first few seconds of the game, I asked him, "How many cards are you running?" He was running 34, and I said I was running 33. And at the end of the game, it went the very last card where he had. The only thing that we could do at that time was to trade mandible claws, and I lost the I lost that exchange because the tempo was not on my side. So that so I went for it too. I lost both games at that time because of um, poor poor playing skills as compared to poor drafting. So it really does take a while. It was again those were my third and fourth heavy hitter spots in total. So I haven't played any draft or any class constructed this season yet in any big events, except for maybe in Talishar. So those were my only 2 events, and I wish I could have played more, but it's okay. I saw how the new players and even the older players were able to grab wins and show, yeah, a really good showing for the Philippines. We are both. I think the first RTN event was at Gamers had around 48 players. The second at Scry Games had, I think, 43 players. So it really shows how much the game has grown here in the Philippines. And it's crazy to see such big RTNs. How about you, Franco? Are you gonna tell us about your championship run?
Wait lang. Let's go back siguro muna to draft.
Sure.
Kasi like, ako, I want to, because ako, I still haven't played a draft, to be honest. Kasi like, walang opportunities for
Yeah.
it here. Uh, I've actually been looking into if I could get the Cebu players to draft on Talishar, pero tinatamad sila. So, I mean, some people would just rather show up in the store and just open a box. So, yun, of course that takes a little more scheduling and yun. And siguro from my experience with the PR na sealed, yun nga, the thing with heavy hitters as a set is that it's weird in the sense na parang it's you para there are so many ways to make things interact,
Yeah.
and there are so many ways to make things interact in a way that creates the value that you keep on
Yeah,
talking about.
exactly.
Na
And I
parang kasi na ano ako, like minsan na lulula ako dun sa mga nangyayari.
mm,
Kasi like naalala ko sa PR, I won my, I think, second or third match by against a Victor na naka-overpower ng Golden Sun, but I blocked from hand plus I blocked
with
with
a
an
block
attack
card.
from with an attack from hand, then nag-reinforce the line,
Mm-hmm.
then I discarded two wind-ups to give the two temper two block. So I drew the two wind-ups at the same time, vigor and agility.
Ah.
So yung temper 2 na equipment,
Ah.
ayun. So, yun, I discarded the two wind-ups na instant speed so that may two block yung temper equipment that checks for tokens.
This was on KO.
I was on Olympia. So I discarded the vigor and the agility na wind-ups. So yun, parang, and that's what got me out of that situation kasi I used the vigor token and the agility token to do double Centauri back, tapos kulang na siya. So yung mga ganun, parang you get those weird edge cases by a pool that really interacts in so many different ways na I guess that was from a sealed mindset, pero even from a draft mind, actually, I think it's even more difficult from a draft mindset because feeling ko when you're picking cards and when you're trying to set priorities for your cards, you have to take those potential interactions into account na din.
Yeah. Totoo
So,
nga yun.
yun.
Sa tingin ko din yung one of the things I expected from heavy hitters is that it would be more similar to Welcome to Wraith. And from someone who drafted Welcome to Wraith a few times, the main difference that I saw was the main thing that I know from Welcome to Wraith is most of the cards don't really interact that much with each other, and they block better. So, nung Welcome to Wraith kasi, you can just tayo nag-finals nun alala ko. Nung yung last Welcome to Wraith event before ma-face out. Ang finocus ko lang na draft noon was Katsu. I just basically drafted 3 blocks, 0 cost, blues.
Na blue. Yeah.
para ma-outvalue yung ano. Kasi nakita ko na parang yung ibang players nagda-draft ng Bravo din. Kaya nung nakita ko open yung mga zero cost, sige, eto dito na ako. So, pagdating when we came to heavy hitters, the main difference was, and the one that I came to realize after I 03 my first pod is Guardian is not the old Guardian that we know. Guardian is the worst blocking class in heavy hitters. They have a lot of block twos, and basta hindi na siya the same Guardian as before. Mas maganda yung blocking ng Warrior sa heavy hitters na set.
Tsaka before I think for me ang pinaka big difference nung Welcome to Wraith to heavy hitters is that sa Welcome to Wraith you could absolutely make a pile na like hindi synergistic yung cards pero magaganda silang value individually.
Yeah.
You could get like Demolition Crew, Pummel, mga ganon na you could run that under Bravo.
Yeah.
Na you could run stuff like, ano ba to? Yun, you could run Sink Below Red and Snatch Red. I mean, parang you had cards na straight up power talaga. I mean,
in relation dun sa discussion natin on card value, heavy hitter, Welcome to Wraith was more on individual card value. I think yun din yung isa.
Feeling ko.
Mas malaki yung value ng individual cards. For example, if you get a red snatch, you put it in any deck, it would still be good. You get a Pummel in any deck at that time, it could still have value, sink below, ganun. But in heavy hitters, hindi na yun yung case.
Kumbaga, yung value mo na ganun, like ako, ang favorite ko sa heavy hitters is that you don't have defense reactions.
Yes. No more blowouts.
Ang dami mong attack reactions. The closest thing you have to defense reaction is reinforce the line. So kung pag nag-block siya ng attack, you kind of, hindi naman siya telegraph, pero you can kind of see na it's a possible avenue for the opponent. So it plays into how you attack. And yun nga, you have mga blowouts like, my God, yung fatal engagement na yan.
Yeah.
Diba? Grabe. So, yun, that's where, and yun nga, pero parang ang dami niyang hoops. Plus, yun nga, the way the card, parang there's so many other ways for cards to interact here. At least in what I experienced.
Yeah, I do think it's a very well designed set. It's a very, very nice, it's a very good draft experience. And I wish I could have played it more. And I wish there would be more opportunities to play it. But Part the Mist Veil is coming too soon.
Actually yun nga, I have to try to get a draft in or two of this set before mapunta tayo sa Part the Mist Veil. So, I mean, Part the Mist Veil ba ang nuts na? I mean,
Yes.
sure na ba yun? Sure na yun, no?
Very likely. Medyo weird if they release a set and then 3 weeks after, during nationals, they decide na hindi, bright lights pala. Joke.
Uy, wag. I mean,
I think so.
yeah.
I think so. I'm sure it's probably been confirmed somewhere. Just haven't gotten to seeing it. So yeah, that was my RTN experience.
Ayun. So, I guess ako naman. I played 2 classic constructed na RTNs. Compared sa well, I guess it's a given. No? Compared sa mga Manila RTNs, these are relatively small. I guess they remind me of how the promise.
Yeah.
How the events looked like in back when we started. Like ang RTN, nag land trip kami to Bacolod. well, partly because I wanted to play, but partly because I wanted to go to Bacolod kasi I never went to Bacolod. And yun nga,
Sarap ng food dun.
Chicken inasal is as good as people say it is.
Yeah.
So, yun. Uh,
Pati yung, ano yung soup, yung noodles?
Kansi? Ay,
Yun din. Ano isa
oh,
pa?
hindi ko alam.
Yung parang lomi na hindi.
Maki?
Hindi, ang tawag dun. Nakakaya tayo, hindi natin alam yun.
Oo, nakaya tayo.
Basta ang sarap na.
Well, basta yun.
Batchoy!
So, batchoy, oo.
Yeah.
Pero yun, hindi ko na parang every time kumakain kami sa inasal place, yung mga kilala ko na hindi usually matakaw, dumodoble bigla yung order.
Iba, no? Hindi ko din na-explain.
Oo, iba.
Parang,
Iba.
parehas lang dapat siya, pero iba.
Oo, iba. May magic doon.
Bacolod chickens.
Bacolod chickens. So
Anyway.
yun, anyway, going back, kwentuhan lang naman to eh. Yun, I played in the Bacolod RTN. There were 16 of us total, I think. There were 6 of us from Cebu. Invasion talaga eh. Nagjo-joke nga kami, invade din namin yung Bacolod, ganyan. So yun,
pero to be fair, Franco, even if you look at the different statistics from RTNs around the world, madaming RTNs na ganyan talaga yung baseline. Mga 16, 20, 24.
Ano lang. So yung Philippines na ngayon yung outliers, laki.
Actually, well, owing to the fact na relatively magkakalapit kasi pag Manila area.
Ayun. So, actually, part nung reason ko din for going there is that I wanted to meet the Bacolod players. And since parang iniisip namin na sila yung most likely and parang most convenient for them to visit Cebu naman in case may Cebu events. Parang ganun. So, yun. We met up with them. Sobra silang accommodating and I like the shop actually. Maganda yung shop ni Mark. Arcanopolis.
Ganda ng shop na yun, no? Yung may cafe pa sa side.
Gusto kami dun sa loob-loob na part. Yung may parang dedicated na gaming tables talaga. Tapos yun,
di ba may Warhammer section pa yun sa dulo?
Kasi yun, basta yung pagpasok mo, parang doon sa right side, may parang mas maliit na room na sa side. Basta yun, parang meron siya doon na talagang parang mukhang mas dedicated gaming tables kasi yung may parang may mga bottle holder sa gilid, ganun. Yung tipong pwede ka umupo doon at tumambay talaga.
So yun. Nakapunta ako dyan last year. Para lang for convention naman yan. Pero, syempre, during the convention, sumilip na rin ako sa mga fab places. Ayun, so, tawag doon. Ayun, ang joke namin, successful yung invasion kasi nag-cut to top 4 kami. And ang top 4, puro Cebu player. So, yun. Ano ginamit mo?
Dash.io. My pet deck. First match was Riptide na kulang-kulang yung deck pero muntik pa rin ako natalo. Kasi frailty token kills me. So yun. Second match was Bravo, si Wilfred. I guess matchup knowledge. That one came down to matchup knowledge. Kasi tipong I knew what attacks from Bravo were not so parang disruptive to my game plan. So like tipong yung choke slam hindi ko binablock kasi if wala naman akong pounder, there's no point in blocking a choke slam. So I could still go on with my turn. Oo. So yun, parang maximum velocity naman yung goal ko. So a choke slam doesn't parang disrupt that. So sige, take. Parang ganun. Or block lang with equipment just to make sure I don't go down too much. Parang ganun. So mga ganun. Ang next ko was, I think, si Rayland, Kasai. I guess the worst matchup, especially when your deck starts to whiff on you. Kasi the deck has a lot of zero blocks.
Is one of the
Actually, hindi
weakness.
zero block. No blocks. So,
Cannot
tapos,
block.
tapos ika-cash in ka lang. So, yun. Sad life. Ang last ko was si Joms.
So natalo ka nung Kasay match?
Talo ako sa Kasaya. Yung Kasay lang yung talo ko sa Swiss.
Okay.
I won a really, really close match against a KO. Actually, minsan hindi ko pa rin na-explain kung paano ako nananalo or natatalo sa KO. Kasi, minsan talaga, ano lang talaga, I'm trying to race down lang talaga din minsan. Tapos parang, there's the idea na I want to fatten the deck slightly, pero though alam ko naman na hindi niya ako mafa-fatigue. Parang, I just want to put a little more options to parang pad out damage. So, at least in the case of Dash.io, that comes in the form of Dissolving Shield. So, maglalagay ka ng additional shields para lang hindi sobrang hapde. But even then, ang KO may smashing performance.
Sometimes di siya nagmamatter.
Pero yun, minsan masa smashing performance lang yung pounder na sinet up mo ng 2 turns. So, wala. Yak lang talaga. Anyway, yun. So, yun. Ang top 4 was I went up against a Teklovosen na magaling na Cebu player. Pero, yun, ganun din. Parang, this time, yung deck naman niya yung tumirik sa kanya kasi he kept on drawing red hands for the first mga 2 to 3 turns. Ang problem dun is if Teklovosen ka, you want at least 2 blues eh.
And you want to cycle through your deck to find out.
And you want to equip, and you want to get 1 Evo out early. Preferably mga turn 2. You're usually holding out to either Arsenal a Def React or Arsenal the Evo that you want to equip. Parang ganun. So yun, nagka-problema yung game plan niya and
punish.
Napapunish siya kasi hindi pala maximum velocity, big shot pala gamit ko that time kasi I was testing it out. Yung 2 boosts pero 8 lang, pero 3 cost. So yun, nadali siya nung high octane pistol pounder stuff. And yun, umabot kaming finals. I went against yung pinaka-consistent na Guardian player siguro sa Cebu. Pero at that time, he was playing Victor naman na instead of Bravo. It was a very, very close match. I got him down to, I think, 2 before I fatigued out. And I only fatigued out kasi I boosted into a Tomo Fiandal na I wanted to draw another boost. Tapos, wala ako na-draw na boost dun sa second. 2 blue na draw ko. Tapos when I looked at my top deck, it was the last boost I needed. So, yun. Kinulang yung damage, na fatigue out ako.
Nagamit mo yung big shot nung nung match?
Hindi. I think earlier. Kasi naman eh.
Kung max velocity yun, nanalo ka?
Hindi. Kasi hindi ako naka-3. Hindi, yun? Hyper Scrapper turn na yun. Kasi tsaka the thing with tawag dyan, the thing with the deck is tawag doon, where am I going with this? The thing with the deck is that it can yung cards niya, sometimes it doesn't matter if nasa graveyard siya, basta enough resources ka. Kasi you have protocols. So, minsan ganun, parang, may extra blue ako, let's turn that into a throttle red. Yeah. Pwedeng ganun yun eh. So, yun. Pero yun, happy with the deck. And natatawa ako kasi after that, ang daming Bacolod players na gusto daw itry yung deck. Tapos sabi ko, medyo sure kayo ha. Kasi, ako sasabihin ko, parang kasi may Kano player sila sa Cebu. Tapos sabi ko, if yung Kano player, minsan nahihirapan kayo dun sa interactions ng Kano, may hirapan din kayo sa interactions nito. Ako sasabihin ko, it's not a beginner-friendly deck.
Yep.
Like, I lost a crap load of matches when I was tweaking the deck. Kasi, wala. Minsan titirikan ka lang talaga na you have 3 no-block cards. Tapos ang kalaban mo, CNC. Parang, wala. Masakit talaga. So, yun. Pero, happy with the performance of the deck. It got second place. Tapos yun, sa irony pa doon is ang nabuksan na gold foil was an Achilles accelerator. Ay nako. Nagjo-joke kami nagjo-joke kami kasi gusto niya, ang gusto ng Victor player na yun, sana daw, gusto niya makakita ng gold na Miller's Grindstone. Diba? Kasi gold na yung hammer eh. Pogi siya yun. Maganda siya yung gold foil, di ba? So, yun. Then yun, the week after was the Cebu RTN naman.
Which was just last week?
This last weekend. So, yun. It was the last RTN for RTN season. There were 2 Cebu players and 2 players from Manila. Sina Miles and sina Jopat. They
2 Bacolod players.
And 2 Bacolod players, sorry. May 2 Bacolod players, may 2 Manila players na dumating. Yung Bacolod players, one of them si Karin was siya siguro yung isa sa medyo promising na players ng Bacolod actually. Dromay, magaling. Na yun. So, yun, I matched up with si Miles sa first round with his favorite Arachne. Na pareho kaming parang half the time nagbabasa kami ng cards ng isa't isa kasi hindi namin alam yung mga ginagawa.
Parang basta kasi.
Tapos basta alam ko basta alam ko yung shield, yung dissolving shield, gagamitin ko dun sa mga dagger, yung mga spider bite. O yun. Pero yun, I won that match. Ang second ko was, yun nga, si Karin, the Dromai player from Bacolod. That was the closest match I had. It got down to the point na basta ang sequencing ko was that, kasi ang kalaban ko, she had 3 Ash Wings, tsaka Burn Them All, na ang play niya, turn 1, was Tomeltai destroying the Achilles. So, kumbaga, it got to the point na down to 1 kami pareho. Tapos I had a play na
you had to
kailangan ko and kailangan ko magdasal na ang hand niya had at least 1 na 2 block. Na if puro 3 block yung hawak niya, talo ko. Kasi pagbalik niya, Ashwing lang with Burn Them All. Wala na akong AB. So yun, parang parang sabi ko, tapos tinignan ko yung graveyard, sabi ko, may parang isang scar pa lang yung nagamit, tsaka dalawang rubble pa lang yung nagamit. So may chance. yung ganun level yung ganun level na down to the wire na. So yun, lumusot kasi one of her cards was an Oasis na wala siyang pang-pitch. So she had to pitch a card to Oasis to block 4. Kasi akala niya hanggang 4 lang yung first attack. So yun, puro breakpoint na lumusot. So yun, nanalo din in there. Pero that was the downright closest match I had. Tapos hindi pa lumabas yung penetration script. So hindi nagiging popper yung 5s. So yun, third match was against a local player na Vincent. Tawag doon. Okay, parang sabi niya later on, medyo tinirikan din siya nung deck niya. Kasi ang dami niyang all red hands. Tapos yung sa high octane turn ko, puro 2 blocks niya yung lumalabas. So, kumbaga yung turn na you want to block out and just play read the runes pass, ganun. Parang hindi niya nagagawa. Kasi yun naman minsan yung game plan nung Tapos, natatawa kami doon kasi tinamaan ako nung Widespread Ruin, yung banish top card of your deck. Tapos, nakalimutan niya na mag-banish ng top card kami pareho. Kasi nag-take siya para mag-unpreventable yung isang rune chant. dun sa non-attack earlier. Tapos, nung nakalimutan yun, niremind ko pa sa kanya. Kasi gusto ko mabanish yung top deck ko kasi naghahanap ako ng item. So, yun. Mga ganun. So, yun. I
Fourth
won
match.
that. Ha?
Fourth match.
Si Rayland ulit on Kasay. Yung talo na naman ako. Kasi tinirikan na naman ako ng deck ko. Nagjo-joke na nga ako at that time. Siya lang lagi talo ko sa Swiss. So, nagjo-joke na lang ako at that time na mas sabi ko sa kanya, yun, parang yung deck ko parang mas mahal ka pa kaysa sa ako. Hindi ako mahal ng deck ko, ganun. Ayun, so talo. Pero that was enough to hit top 8. Top 8 match ko was against a KO na player, si Nico. New player here sa Cebu. Tawag doon, nakakatakot si KO because medyo kulang pa yung deck niya. As in, wala pa siyang cast bones, pero close pa rin yung match. As in, naka Bone Breaker Bellow Red. And yung Bone Breaker Bellow Red into Mandible Claw, masakit pa rin. As in, parang Bone Breaker Red into Mandible Claw into Swing Big. Parang, wala, ganun pa rin. Parang, even if you don't have cards like Cast Bones, parang, the deck still does a lot of work.
Yeah, it's still the deck to beat.
Oh, pero yun, parang nag-take lang ako up until nag-down to 3 ako kasi ayoko ma-reckless win. I mean, the usual thing against brutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun, nanalo naman because nakalimutan niya na kaya ko mag-Achilles Accelerator para sa isa pang extra na Symbiosis Shot. So, yun. Ay, tsaka, meron siyang pinalusot na piso na may boom grenade ako sa top deck. So, attack react boom grenade. Mga ganon. That's what, yung mga minsan, yung mga minsan na biyaya nung deck. So, yun, top 4 was against Levia, local player din dito. Magaling, pero ano nga ba nangyari doon? I think parang hindi siya prepared for block play pounder pass na line.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi sometimes that's a way of parang denying especially Brute and Guardian.
Yeah.
Parang that's a way to deny them interaction to fill their graveyard. So yun. Nanalo. Tapos yun, yung finals was against si Kadi. Another Levia player na actually lagi kong ka-playtest kasi we live 2 streets away from each other dito. So, minsan parang kaya nagjo-joke na kami nung finals, parang para lang tayo nasa bahay mo para lang tayo nasa sala mo kulang na lang Coke Zero. Ganon. So, ayun, match was medyo close naman. Meron siyang, I guess ang misplace lang niya were that I was attacking him turn 0 and I thought he would fill up his graveyard by blocking with everything lang turn 0. Kasi ang goal ko lang nung turn 0, I had 2 T-bones in hand. Tapos nag-T-bone lang ako para lang mabawasan yung Apex tsaka yung Scab Skin. Kasi yun, parang ang goal ko that time was 1, to dig for items, 2, to snipe at the armor. Na parang that kasi malaking value kasi yun later on. Mga ganun. So I guess yun lang yung pinaka misplay niya, I guess. I thought he was trying to keep parang good cards, pero yun, in the end yung maraming symbiosis shot nakalusot. So yun. And yun, nanalo na RTN and natupad yung pangarap ko is to give -IO LL points. And yun, nandun sa nandito pa yung gold foil.
Which is a Searing Ember Blade, di ba?
Yeah, Searing Ember Blade. Na, yun. Yun. Tapos sayang kasi we thought there were more Bacolod players coming. Kasi parang, I think nag-joke sila nung parang after nung RTN.
Nababawi.
Kita daw Mulargag, Cebu, para para daw bawi-bawi kasi nag-invade yung Cebu sa Bacolod. Nag-invade naman daw yung Bacolod.
Hindi sila
Pero yun,
nakapunta.
parang dalawa lang sila. I thought there would be at least 4 or 5. Pero regardless, there will be more events. Tsaka yun, parang I'm as a more parang general and as a broader parang learning, I guess. Parang I like the scene here na nakita kong it kind of reminds me of how we started out nga. Yun nga, na parang medyo minsan nagkakaproblema sa cards, ganyan. So, kaya nga, ang ginawa ko was na parang kaya actually one of the first things I did nung medyo na na ako dito. Medyo na establish na ako dito. Was dinala ko yung bulk ko from Manila. So like yun, parang at the time kulang na lahat. Gusto na lahat magkaroon ng lead the charge. Gusto na lahat magkaroon ng cadaverous contraband. Yung mga ganun. So yun, nakatulong naman. Hindi ko mahanap. Alam ko marami pa naghahanap ng cash in. Alam ko meron ako dito, kailangan ko lang kalungkatin. Mga ganun. So, ayun. Pero promising siya in the sense na there are people here na I can see na who are actively trying to grow the game or actively trying to get people together to play. So yun, Cebu has a bunch of new players na din. Yun nga, sumali yung isang new player, dumiretsong top 8, di ba? Sulit na yung sulit na yung ginastos niya dun sa Apex Bonebreaker niya tsaka Scowling Fleshbag. Yun. And parang ang Bacolod is even newer, I think. Parang not too many people have the cards and I think most of the players there pa are students. Yun yung dun eh. Kasi parang nagtatarong sila parang tumitingin sila ng binder pero parang alam mo yung pag tumingin sila ng card, parang alam mong gusto nila pero wala pa silang cash for it. Parang gano'n. So sabi ko, sige, kung may trade na lang, ganyan. Gano'n na lang. Parang, yun. Kasi, pero yun, I can see the people there, like, yun nga, parang yung sa atin before, na there is potential in the game and there's potential in creating more competitive scenes here. Ang sinasabi ko nga tawag doon, ang gusto ko moving forward is ang Bacolod and Cebu magkaroon ng top players yan na pwede mong iharap sa top players ng Manila and they will have a good performance, parang gano'n. Kasi kunyari yung current players ng Cebu, tawag dyan, I think parang if we I guess the last time medyo marami naman kami dun sa Battle Hardened. Pero parang if even more of us go to those parang get the time and parang get the resources, I guess, to be able to parang shuttle back and forth Manila. I think they will do well in the events din naman. So yun.
I agree as
well. So yun, I like the direction. Kasi parang ito, honestly, I thought na nung nag-transfer ako sa Cebu, parang magiging mas yun, parang kailangan maglalaylo ba ako sa game, ganyan.
Mas madalas ka pa nakakalaro kayo sa amin ni Alvin.
Actually, kasi to be fair kasi sobrang regular ng mga armory dito.
Yeah.
And there's only one naman na consistent for the time being na na armory. So parang yun yung the time for people to gather and to hang around and to play. Na yun nga, minsan may mga hindi sila nakakalaro ng armory pero tatambay pa rin sila. Like kahit round 2 pa lang bibisita sila or magpe-playtest na lang sila with someone na gusto na mag-drop, ganun. Or kung may ibang mga late na players, tatambay na lang din sila, ganun. So, kakain kami dinner after, ganun. So yun, that's my RTN experience.
So, what do you think about the heroes so far that have won the RTN? So, yung top heroes natin would be Dromai, KO, and Victor. So, very likely sila yung heroes to beat.
Ah, mm,
I mean,
ano ba?
I think before we end,
Oh, sige. I guess, well, I guess factor dyan yung nagbawas yung mga tao sa Ninja for the time being. I think I don't see a lot of, well, siguro dito din kasi wala din masyadong Ninja players. I don't know if it's as relevant dyan sa Manila. Kasi ako din naman personally, uh, I haven't considered playing a Ninja recently kasi when Victor came out, sabi ko, every Ninja will lose to Clash.
yeah.
So parang that was the logic na parang if people were playing around with Victor and if people were playing around with Bravo, then Ninjas would be having a hard time. I guess Dromai gets to take advantage of that to be able to get kasi right now parang yun nga for me the natural predator of Dromai was
Fai.
Katsu and Fai. Oo. Kasi yun nga you could pwede mo pagpiestahan yung Ash Wings. Pero yun nga now that you have I guess it's also the fact that the heavy hitters meta is parang a little slower na you have parang decks setting up their big turns more often. Hindi na lang yung 5 meta na buga lang ng buga ng damage
Or
every
hindi
turn.
na rin Lexi meta na
And hindi na rin Lexi
you
meta.
can't race Lexi.
Oh, or you try to race pero at some point hindi ka makakagalaw.
Talaga.
Hindi ka makakagalaw and that's what sets you back one turn. One turn is all you need to lose in a race. So, yun, parang because wala na yung mga yun, I can see why. Yung Victor naman, I guess yun, well, let's go with KO first. Yung KO kasi talaga, value talaga. I think the early joke that she was the Ira of CC is actually having a significant effect on the meta. Na, yun nga, ang hapdi talaga nung the might token really hurts.
Yeah.
Parang over time. And
in 10 if in 10 turns and in each turn you get to discard the 6 power card, you get 10 points of damage for the entire game.
And yun nga, it's everything leaks. Na parang and it's not even it's not even yung tawag doon, where was I getting with this? It's not just one might token sometimes. Na you have the might token, then you have the leaking damage from the might token from Apex. Parang it's a combination of things.
It's very synergistic. Super synergistic deck.
It's a combination of things that give so many incremental advantage na parang when taken as a whole, malulunod ka talaga in value. Kumbaga. Na, yun nga, parang you're parang no fear, cast bones, send packing na may isang might token, pinaka nakakairita.
Yung interesting dun kasi si KO, pag tingnan mo yung other two top decks, si Victor and si Dromai, siya yung parang may okay na matchup against either siya, kasi against Victor, you also win many clashes. And against Dromai, you have a lot of poppers. And I think it boils down to a skill matchup pagdating dun. I think yung pinakalugi nga dun sa tatlo would probably be Victor. Maybe.
Kasi
can't really deal with dragons that efficiently.
Oh, it's even worse than Bravo into dragons.
Exactly.
Tsaka tawag doon, ang thing ko din with Victor is that when you want to close out the game, you cannot.
Wala siyang disruption kasi. I mean,
Oh,
wala siyang, hindi siya as disruptive as Bravo.
hindi talaga.
Value lang talaga siya, value.
Gold him nga eh.
Gold him. Agree.
Actually, wait lang. While we're there, actually, ito na din yung gusto ko rin sabihin na ito yung part na reason kung bakit gusto ko nagda-dash IO ngayon. Kasi hindi disruptive ang meta. And I think it was intentional. I think it was intentional on the part of LSS na the new heroes were not as disruptive as the old ones. Kasi like, 'di ba? What benefits do you get from Victor? You get overpower and +3 attack. Hindi wala siyang sinisira sa'yo.
Wala.
Tapos yung clashes, parang kung may clash na if you win the clash, opponent discard sa card, magiging ibang usapan. 'Di ba? Parang gano'n. And si KO, the best KO got, or the brute class got was send packing na bago na tech.
Na it's still very interactable.
Oh, it's still very interactable, especially if you block properly. Kasi you could still do 2-3 card blocks with one equipment na isa na lang natitira na block, and you could still block out a send packing with a might token. Parang mga ganun. So, yun, parang I think I said before dun sa meta discussion natin na it gives combo decks a chance to shine in a way that I think was not possible before.
Yeah.
So, yun nga, parang that's why I was looking into, I'm actually looking now into, yan, mga Kano, mga Dash IO, and even Lumina Bolton, my God, pet deck mo from before. I mean, feeling ko ngayon is probably the
Perfect
best chance. Oh, kasi tawag diyan. Ngayon nga ang daming nag-switch to Bolton dito. Tapos Raiden Bolton pa lang, sulit na pa rin yung Lumina.
Yeah.
As in.
Ang iniisip ko lang kasi, if you're playing Bolton, Centaris, why not just play Kasai? If you're playing the double Centaris, it's way easier to just get copper tokens. From the incremental mental value that you get from Kasai.
Well, I kind of get that.
But we'll see. I think there will be builds that will come out. And I think yung magandang next question. What are your 3 top decks for the upcoming Pro Tour?
Pro Tour?
Pro Tour Pro Quest. Kasi magkasunod na lang siya.
Muna ka. Wala pa akong naisip.
I think it would still be KO. Probably KO will still be the most played deck. I think bababa ang Dromai actually after the RTN season. And I think Victors will still come out and maybe Bravos. So, yun yung tingin kong dalawang maglalaban. The KO and the Guardians including Bravo. And probably the third deck will be a Warrior. I think Kasai. I think yun yung magiging top decks for the next season or for the Pro Quest. We'll see. Probably Kano will win it all or a Dash IO. Kasi tricky yung balance ng matchups eh.
Sobra. Ako nga I don't like, parang tawag dyan, I tried playing Bravo into Kasai mga 2 to 3 times. Hindi ko gusto. Kasi hindi maganda experience. Bigyan mo, kasi tawag dyan, kasi ikaw magsaside-in ka lang ng lilipat ka lang sa tunic, tapos magra-run ka lang ng 6 na Steel Blade Shunt eh. So you get to execute the rest of your game plan. I mean, ganon. I've seen that. So, ang hap deck, kasi like, your crushes don't hit, tapos ang laki pa rin ng fridge.
That's kasi Valiant Dynamo.
you still have Braid Forge, you still have Valiant, you have Valiant, and tawag dyan, yung iba na, yun, tapos Crown.
Para siyang
Maano,
opposite ni Kasay ni KO. Yung 10 might na nakuha ni KO during the entire match. Lahat yun blinup ng Valiant Dynamo.
pero yun, parang, ewan ko, hindi ko, I guess, parang, ang pinaka-disagree ko dyan is dun sa Bravo na call. Kasi parang, I don't know, I've tried Bravo recently. I don't like it into KO. I don't like it into Kasay. Parang, yun nga, parang sa KO lang ya, parang tawag dyan, fridge plus isang no fear, sira yung buong game mo. Kasi hindi lang critical turns eh. Parang yung buong game mo na outvalue ka na from that.
Sabagay, tapos yung pagka-block niya ng Bone Breaker, biglang may na siya.
Tapos
yung CNC niya.
Tawag dyan, pag mag-spinal ka, cast bones, arsenal, pass. So, ang daming nangyari sa akin na parang ganyan.
Or
recently. So,
pitch blue, send packing for 7, tapos discard agile wind-up, arsenal.
Yung discard agile wind-up na yan.
Ayaw mo ng
So yun, parang yun. I'm not confident in saying Bravo is a good deck right now, given the top heroes. Yun, pero ako, sige, I'll agree with the KO. The KO is
the deck to beat.
Pero
maybe. Or baka siya yung parang standard niya.
Pero natatawa ako kasi marami ding Levia player dito. And parang nakakatawa na ang Levia, parang ang nagiging debate namin ngayon dito are there situations or are there fields na Levia is better than KO? Kasi you'd be surprised na yung sa Bisaya kasi sa Bisaya yung pagkulang ka ng kamay, pongkol yung term. Tapos parang ang joke nga namin, the fact na pongkol siya is relevant pag sa Levia versus KO. Kasi yung Levia, mas mahapdi yung Blood Rush.
Sobra.
So parang is the cast bones make up na blood rush, parang pambawi dahil kulang yung blood rush ng KO, parang ganon. So it's na I actually think Levia can do well or as well as KO at least pag sa upcoming na.
KO Levia. Uy, pwede.
KO and or Levia. Sige, parang pwede nating i-one hero yon kasi similar naman sila. Pero yon, parang I'm surprised na tsaka natawa ako dun sa may natutunan ako recently dun sa RTN ni Mansan. 'Di ba yung Blasmofet na yung flip, Blasmofet Levia consume. 'Di ba sinabi once per turn you can play from Banish? Pwede ka mag-Guardian of the Shadow Realm from Banish. Ayun, wala lang.
Yeah.
Hindi ko alam yan before. So yun, turn ng kalaban, turn mo. Hindi ko siya naisip before. Tapos nagugulat ako na ngayon kasi tech na pala yung isa na Guardian. So parang lulup mo lang din. Like the way na nilulup before yung Ghostly Visit. Parang ganun. So, yun. Levia or KO, I think. Especially with a player na experienced in the deck. Second, siguro, ano ba? Let's
Dromai. Agree ka ba sa Dromai?
Locally ba to or are we talking about?
No. Pro Tour.
The whole Pro Tour.
Yeah, in general.
Oh, Dromai, hindi. Dromai. Kasi siya. Yun nga. The fact that I think the fact that the meta is a little less disruptive and parang allows for people to play their game plans more.
Better.
Oo. Compared sa Lexi meta na may game plan ka nga, Arctic Incarceration ka. 'Di ba? Arrow into Arctic Incarceration. Parang that was a thing, 'di ba? And yun nga, you had a game plan, good luck, pass ka. parang nagiging ganun. Yung Dromai, ayun, you still have the ano eh, you still have Tome of Imperial Flame. You still have the early Tomeltai.
The
You
high
still have,
roll tome to Tomeltai.
oo, you still have those plays na, yun nga, and it's a meta that allows you time to execute those plays. So yeah, sige, and walang ibang ano, and tawag dyan, yung, yung yung alam nyo na ayoko sa illusionist is probably its strength then as well. Kasi ako, diba, I've said before na I don't really like playing illusionist. Kasi I don't like how sometimes the matchups are very polarizing. Na meron kang really bad matchup, pero meron kang really good matchup din. So, yun, I think here though, it can be turned into a strength na yun, na we've seen na the RTN season has shown na Dromai can still pull things together and actually probably has an easier time pulling things together. Eh de, yun. Ang last ko would probably be, let's put Kano in there as a last ano. Kasi, hindi. Kasi
Yeah.
Pro Tour naman eh. Pro Tour naman eh. So, ito na naman tayo dun sa question na, are you prepared? Did you dedicate sideboard slots? Diba?
That actually might be true since Kano, I think, only won the second week of RTN. The last week of RTN, wala na siyang pinanalo.
So, ito na naman tayo.
Yeah. It's a waxing and waning moon.
Oh. Ayun, parang ito na naman tayo na ano, do you have at least, I don't know, 1 to 2 Oasis in deck? And good Kanos will know how to play around Oasis. Diba? Like yung ano, yung RTN ba yun or PTI event? Yung si Joshua ba yun?
Yeah, na nagkamali sa ano, sa resources.
Sa finals. Hindi, diba ano?
Din yata?
ABH ba yun? Ayun.
Yata.
Nakita ko yung Chains of Eminence, sabi ko, oh, I know that card.
Oo nga eh. Sabi ko nga eh, why play? Anyway. Bakit? I don't know why you play that in certain matchups.
I think versus Dromai, it was to delay a Themite. I think. Parang ganun. If I recall correctly. Kasi nakaano lang siya. Kasi naka-isang nourishing lang siya. So, one popper lang sa whole deck. Tapos, I guess if you delay Themai for a turn, it can be significant. Especially if wala pang Ashwing na na-setup. So, wala pang AB. Tapos, puro red deck naman yung deck.
But it's still one card before you draw your combo turn. Hindi ko alam.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think
yun. So, yun, babalik tayo sa question na will people prepare for Kano and will people dedicate sideboard slots to it? If not, piyesta ulit. I mean, yun, that's what it is.
Agree. Okay, so I think that will end our episode for today.
Yep.
Episode 8. And
Episode 8.
This was Carl.
And this is Franco. Like and subscribe and comment, and we will be putting we probably have the Facebook post up by this
already
time.
Up by this time. Yeah. We're open to feedbacks. Just tell us anything any feedback that you have regarding any videos that you want us to put up or whatever. So, on behalf of Alvin, who is still indisposed,
I know.
This has been the Besh and Brodcast.
Bye.